Mr. Audley Watson, who has moved further north, would have been right next to me here in the complex. We want to say good morning to him. That's his mom, Lynn Francis in Tampa Bay. He's listening up, and we're gonna leave the country. We're gonna say good morning to sweet T10. The umpires are in the ready position. The signal has come into our official scorer here, Mr. Wari. So Leslie Daniel, he will be on strike, and his partner will be Praveen Boa. So there's been a lot of work been done on this field on the outside, where there were a lot of shrubbery that has been gone, and that's going to be turned into parking lot. So the first ball of the day comes up, and this is Wakadish. She bowls, and this one turns it into the legs, and they are on the way. 1 for no loss. So Daniel gets off the mark right away. So it's going to be a 10-over contest. Yesterday afternoon, the last match was reduced to an 8-over affair because of the lateness of the match. But with only 3 matches today, was slated to start at 10 o'clock. We had to go at just about a minute ago, so we take that to about 22 minutes to 11 o'clock. Outside the off stump, in the air and away from the third man fielder, and away she goes to the boundary for 4. So the first boundary of the day, one that was pitched outside the off stump. Batsman just needed to get some bat on it, and I would say he guided it over the short third man, who was up inside of the 30-yard circle, and that one rolled into the boundary for 4. 5 for no loss. This one, the batsman is playing with soft hands into the cover region, and they're off for a single. Good running. So they've been whisking the scoring so far. We've yet to see a dot ball. We said earlier in the day they would have won the toss, elected to bat, so they're going to be setting a target, and they think they're going to try to get it in excess of 126. 126 seemed to be the highest score of this tournament so far. We started on Friday. And as I said earlier, Samp Army would have gone without losing a match. This time the batsman again is getting on top of one, which is goes down to the short third man, and the scampers through yet another single. 7 for no loss. So the left-right combination is causing the field to have its changeover. So Rishi again bounds in. Right to move outside the off stump, and he's guiding this one, and he's don't know where he was going. That one was going straight to the point region. So the first dot of the day goes into the scorer's book, and it came on the 5th ball. For you, those guys out there who are putting up your wages, want to know when a dot will be bowled, when a wicket will be taken. I'm sure that you're keeping scores. So final delivery outside the off stump, and he's getting some willow on it, not timing it as he would have liked, but gets a single nonetheless. As over number 1 comes to an end, it is 8 for no loss. We would have seen that was played for the short third man, and away she goes for the first boundary of the day. Other than that, we had all poles. That's 4 singles and a dot. So my reckoning, 8 runs and over with the power plays on is not a bad thing. So we would say that the bowlers would have kept things relatively quiet. It's a 10-10 encounter, so no more than 2 fielders can be outside of the 30-yard circle. Oftentimes batters would try to capitalize on that, knowing that 9 fielders are inside of the circle, but we have not seen any aggressive shot so far, although a 4 was being realized in the first over. It was one that was guided over the short. So we have the left arm bowling around the wicket, and he's punching in to the offside. Thought about a single, which remained a thought because the non-striker did not move, and we know the new rules now. You cannot leave the non-striker cannot leave home before the ball is delivered. I hope they're mindful of that, trying to cut that man card out of it. So in order for the non-striker not to steal a run, they have made it lucidly clear that the non-striker should not leave his crease before this one is in the air. He's going in for the catch, and he did not get there, but he made a valiant effort to get there. So first chance of a wicket, but it was not to be realized. In the meantime, the batters scampered through for 1. So Hemwedge, yesterday he bowled just that 1 over, which he just conceded the 3 runs, but he never came back. And when he batted, he chalked up some 30-odd run, 31. So we're into over number 2. Hemwedge left, and this time he's swinging this one, and there's coverage in the deep mid-wicket areas. So for all of that work, they just got 1 because there's coverage down there. So Chandapal Hemwedge is still trying to keep things tight. They're into double figures now. It's 10 for no loss. And at the end of this over, we're going to be welcoming Amar. This time he's playing this one in the air, just out of the reach of the short mid-wicket. I thought he should have done better with that one. He was aerial for a moment. He put in the dive, but he did not even get a fingernail to it. In the meantime, the batters would have crossed for 2. We take the total on to 12. So the 2 men that are outside of the circle would be the long on and the mid-wicket. Was that a chance? The one was struck back firmly to the bowler, Chandapal Hemwedge, and he did not effect the stop, so the batters would have scampered through a single. 13 comes up on the scoreboard. Praveen goes into double figures. He is on 10. He's been taking most of the strike. He has 8 deliveries so far. And Leslie is going at 100. He is 3 for 3. This time he's swinging and missing lights, but apparently he did not leave home, so umpires unmoved. Loud appeal. As we come to the end of the over, Amar to the com box. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Henry. Good morning to all our viewers. Beautiful day out here for some cricket. And again, we would like to thank MAQ for organizing this wonderful tournament at this beautiful Delray ground. One of the, well, MAQ's known for his premium cricket facilities all over the U.S., and the Delray ground is no less. So off to a decent start at the batting side, but the bowling side would be happy as well. 13 without loss. 13 without loss after 2 overs.
Yes. fresh. Seems as if you had a good night's rest.
Yeah, man. Just after the game, just went out to eat and stuff, and then hit the hotel.
Okay, well, hopefully you're enjoying what South Florida have to offer in these pandemic times.
Yeah, again, as we know, MAQ was one of the first people to get back cricket in Florida after the pandemic, and it seems that, at least in Florida, COVID is yesterday's news now, and hopefully we'll stay that way. But the real question is, though, is Chandrapal going to bowl the second over today, or are they just going to let him go with one?
Well, we'll watch and see, because yesterday he just had one for free. Today he has bowled his partners in opening the bowling with. He opened the bowling from the northern end here, and he was very miserly as usual. He just went for some 5 runs in that over.
Which is surprising to see, because mostly the spinners have been coming on from that end, and the faster bowlers have been going from the one Hemraj bowled from.
Yes, well, we have a new bowler with his man up. The batsman is swinging on this one, not timing it as he would like.
But really like the look of Manav there. Has a nice action and seems to have a bit of speed as well.
Yes, nice, lovely one. Was there very rare. So when you get a left armer who can just put it down, that's one you want to hold on to. 14 for no loss. And Leslie comes back and strike. He is on 3. In the meantime, Praveen has gone to 11. Covers. Straight to the fielder.
Yeah, Leslie making no secret that he's out there to try to make full use of that power play. A full-fledged drive again, but straight to the fielder, unfortunately.
Yes. So he'll deliver away from ending the power play, and they're just hovering at 14. This time there's a man down there, but you can only look at it go over his head for the first 6 of the day. A lovely shot, inside out.
That's a good hit from Leslie. Inside out is not that easy to play, especially against the left-handers with the ball basically working against the angle. But that was a good shot, and that will help the Tampa Tigers team. As you said, only 13 before this ball in the power play and only 3 balls left. So Leslie trying to make full use of what's remaining in the power play.
For single. So, in essence, a good comeback for the bowler.
Yeah, this is T10 cricket, so I think what defines a good bowler, especially in this format, is not who gets hit for 6s. It's like what you do the ball after you get hit for a 6. That really shows where you are as a bowler, according to me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so we have to say the bowler would have won the battle because he's off strike, and it brings Praveen into strike, and then he bowls a dot ball. So at least that 6 would have waked him up somewhat.
Yeah, still not a bad over from Manav, just an 8 from it. So if he can finish strong here, maybe with a dot ball, so that I would take that as a captain. 8 runs in T10 cricket. That's pretty decent. Also, really looking forward to Praveen batting. He hit some good hits yesterday.
Time he's edging, and he's going to go for 4. He's happy now. I think that's maybe one of his peeve shots, because he would have scored 2 boundaries in the same area outside the off stump. He was going to swing, and you know the rule. If you
Yeah, if you swing hard. That's cricket 101. And just before was talking how I was looking forward to Praveen. Didn't really get this one in the middle, but the end result is what matters.
Yes, so they would have realized. So now you can have no more than 5 fielders outside of the 30-yard circle. And I'll just let you know that the Tampa Bay Tigers, they would have played 4 games from Friday and yesterday, and they would have scored some 84, 94, 98, and 81 for 8. And they would have lost 3 of those 4 matches, so they would have only won 1. But they're into the semifinals and playing against the undefeated Samp Army. So we still have to wait for the end of the 10th over to realize whether or not Chandrapal Hemward will bowl the second over. But for
Yeah.
now, he's out of the attack.
Yeah, for now, I think that's just been the strategy. With Chandrapal, he just bowled the 1 over, but I guess if they feel the need to bring him back, they probably will. Introducing another left-arm fast bowler, I think, Aditya Padala here. So lots of left-armers for the Tampa Tigers, for the Samp Army. Beg your pardon.
Yes, all the fans. But like we said, I guess now they're going to use Hemwaj as a reserve, just in case.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tactic or strategy behind that is, but that is how they've gone about it. He just bowls the 1 over and then disappears and never comes back.
Well, it has worked for them because they have not lost a match in this competition.
Yeah, maybe he also opens the batting, so maybe he's just comfortable bowling the 1 over.
Okay, so I guess he bowls 1 over and he bats once, so he does everything once. This one, the batsman is getting a French cut. And this one goes past the leg stump and down to the boundary for 4. So it doesn't matter how they come. Once on the board is once on the board.
Yeah, still, this shot though, even though it was kind of an inside edge, the idea was right. That is where the batsman was trying to play it, but he was trying to sweep it more. Ended up coming off the inside edge and running finer than he would have wanted, but still 4 runs.
So 29 for no loss. Again, welcome to all viewers to the MAQ TV. And we'll try to fill you in because not all times everything is shown on the screen. We have a limited. Oh, this one is in big. It's going far. And it's gone over the long on for a 6.
Yeah, that was absolutely smashed. That was a big hit, and that was going for 6 the moment it left the bat, and it cleared the boundary by quite a bit.
Yes, he was over pitch and he got the treatment. He was right in the arc. It was a good swing of the bat, and with these bat speed today, you just have to get it out of the middle, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, these bats nowadays, like you said, you just have to get not even the middle. Sometimes even you get like the bottom. Some bats, if your bat is good, it will still go.
The edges, you can play with the side of the bat and hit boundaries with ease.
I know a lot of
They're
people.
so thick.
A lot of people play with like the weighted bat, so the middle is more towards the bottom than the actual middle.
Let's see the comeback delivery. If he following the foot, no, he's going big again. He's coming all the way towards us, and he goes for 6.
Yeah, that is another 6. This one just clears the boundary rope, not as big as the last one, but same result, 6 runs. That's what matters. So it looks like Leslie's looking good out there now.
Yeah, whether it goes for 60 yards or 80 yards, it's just going to be half a dozen into the scorer's book. So we have 4, 6, 6. So he did not emulate his bowling partner when he would have bowled a good comeback delivery after being struck for that 6. He would have struck for 1 and then a dot.
Yeah, so that, like I said, it's not the 6, it's what you do the ball after. And Aditya losing the plot here.
Well, maybe they think the power play is still on. Let's see. He's playing aggressive, and another aggressive shot outside the off stump, but this one too wide. He was asking the umpire if that one was not outside of the line.
I think sometimes the power play not being there might prompt the batsman to be more aggressive, because the power play, you know where the 2 fielders are and you can find the gaps still or just go over the circle. But after the power play, if you're trying to hit it, you have to clear the boundary. So that might add a bit of more aggression.
It's true, because people like to take up a challenge. It seems as if when 2 fielders are out, they pick one of those 2, and now that 5 fielders are out, they're trying to pick one of the 5. This was a yes no throw came in, but in the end
because even that last 6 from Leslie, the first one, that there was a longer position and that went right over the fielder, so he took the fielder on. He did not care.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, good comeback by the bowler. We have to give him his props. He came with 2 dot balls, and this time he's going in the air. There's a man down there, but he's not going to be able to cut it off. So from the last delivery, he has struck another boundary, so we have 20 coming from that over.
That's an expensive over by Aditya, and only went for boundaries or dots. Nothing else in that over. 4 6s and 2 dot balls. And that has really given the Tampa Tigers the acceleration that they needed, given their slow start in the first 2 overs.
Yeah, so I think this power play, maybe it's thinking 20, where the power play would go on up to 6 overs. Whatever it is, it's working for them.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working. And the way they're going now, they might be able to notch up a big score, but we have seen historically in this tournament that sides are not able to finish as well as they started.
Okay, well, Leslie Daniel has rushed on to 30, and Praviv Bua, he is keeping company. He's on 15 from 11. He's not been getting, well, the strike is about equal. 13, one has 30 delivers, the other has 11. But Daniel has made good use. He would have gone from 10 to 30 in 1 over.
Yeah, he's made full use of the last over, and now he is striking at a monstrous strike rate. And if he keeps going like that, he can really put his team in a winning position in this knockout contest.
Wouldn't be well. The loser goes home here because this is the first of 2 semifinals, and be reminded that the Samp has not lost a match in this competition, and it would be sad for them losing one at this stage outside the off stump wide. But you can see the batsmen are in an aggressive mood. Although that one was very, very wide of the off stump, he still tried to get some willow onto it.
But Mr. Henry, how many times have you seen in tournaments where the team that won all the group games just gets knocked out by someone that barely made it in the semifinals through run rate? We've seen that so many times in international matches as well.
Yes, but I hope that the Samp Army are not going to be taking the lightly, because they would have only won 1 game, whereas they would have won all 4 of their games. So cricket is played in the middle, and the better team on that day is the one. This time he's in the air and he's out caught. So he was not third time lucky. He would have got 2 boundaries in that direction. Oh, went over that. The second boundary he got in that fashion went to the left of the man in the short third man position, and this time he hit it straight to him. He didn't have to move an inch. So a partnership realized of some 46 runs, and it came.
Yeah, I don't really mind that, but Praveen, though, they're off to a decent start. Almost half the overs gone, so he has 9 more guys to come in after him. So just trying to go after everything. I think that's going to be the blueprint from here on, given the start. Everyone's just trying to go for it because they have so many wickets in hand.
Yes, well, he was definitely, because we saw his intention from the first delivery. It was well wide of the stump, and he really walked the course and tried to slash it to the covers. This one was a little closer to him, and with the intent of getting the ball off the square, he could do no more than get an edge, and the short third man poached it. Well, in come the batsman, Gerald. He really put on a good display yesterday. He was not too happy with his dismissal, but he really looked good yesterday while he was at the wicket.
Yeah, Gerald did well with the bat. Also seems to be a decent bowler. So a real utility player for Tampa Tigers. And given how his partner Leslie is playing, if Mr. Penford can go off in the same fashion that he did yesterday, then that's going to put the Samp Army in some bother.
Yes, well, he's taking guard, and Leslie Daniel watches on from the non-strikers end. So with Gerald coming in at the 1 drop, the number 3 position, he has a good platform in which to launch. He has all of 5 overs and 5 balls in which to really put his name outside the off stump. He's not timing it, but he's getting off the mark straight away.
Yeah, a little lucky there on his first delivery. That one could have gone anywhere, also in the hands of the fielder, but fell in no man's land.
Yes, take the total on to 47 for 1. So Alash Joshi is taking pace off the ball. I think that's what got the better of him. He was playing for one that he thought would have had more pace on it, but at least he got off the mark first delivery, so he did not waste the delivery.
Yeah, at least able to get off the mark, even though it wasn't in like the most prettiest fashion, but a run is still a run, and brings back the dangerous Leslie on strike. More importantly,
him and spirit down to the deep mid wicket. The man from the mid wicket comes in, but can't prevent 2.
Going off that earlier point that we were talking about, when teams end up winning all the group games but end up losing like the main knockout game. One tournament that comes to mind is the 1992 World Cup. Pakistan barely made it to the semifinals and then beat unbeaten New Zealand and went on to win it.
Yes. Just a reminder, early in the day, Tampa Tigers would have won the toss and they elected to bat. This time he's going again, and he's getting a good hold of this one, but good feeling down on the mid-wicket area where he prevented the batsman this time from taking two.
Yeah, good bowling so far by Akash, even though Leslie's gone after him for some big hits. Well, trying to hit some big hits, but he's kept it down to once. So, and he's now nearing end of his over. If he can finish strongly, it's going to be a very decent over. 50 for 1.
Yes, so the 50 comes up on the board, and both batsmen are showing real aggression. So they're going to make good of these last 5 overs. I think the intention is clear. He's going aerial in the onside, going 1 bounce to the man down on the long on boundary, and the scamper was full for a single. A good throw came in, a direct hit, but the batsman was well home. But they were looking for overthrows, as a matter of fact, but there was none. 51 for 1. So again, the left-right combination have umpire E Banks. Square leg to square leg.
So the second shot by Gerald much better looking than the first one. So he seems to be finding better parts of his bat now.
This time he's going after him again, but there's coverage out in the wide long off area. So and he kept very, very quiet in this over. Last over he would have struck some 20 runs, but he's gone from 30. He has gone to 30 in a rush, and he has only scored just 4 runs in this over.
Yeah, I think that major credit to Akash Joshi. I think he was mixing it up really nicely there. Some change of pace. That's the thing that wasn't allowing Leslie to hit those big shots.
Contrast to the previous over when some 20 runs came off that. Only 7 runs coming from this over, so that's a good sign and a good comeback. Bowlers should bowl in partnerships, and they're bowling. Maybe that pair is the one. We need another one to partner Akash to keep it down to 7.
Yeah, like I also mentioned earlier, teams have not been able to finish as well as they started so far in the 3 days we've had this tournament. So that might be the case too. Let's see, there's still have 5 overs left. They're going 10 runs and nowhere. So 100 is on, but let's see.
Well, we expect them to get from 5. We're at the halfway mark. They should be able to get another maybe 75, because it's only 1 wicket would have fallen. So let's give them 1.5 times, another 50 plus 25.
Yeah, ideally, if you're 52 for 1 after 5 overs, you would be looking beyond 100, around like 70, 75 runs. Because you always want to make more in the last 5.
Exactly. The highest score in the tournament so far is 126 from 10. That's made by outside the off stump, and the batsman is dashing at it. And it's a wide called and signaled there by umpire E Banks. So he has got to reload and come again. Remember, we asked for a bowler to bowl in tandem with the previous bowler, but he has started wayward outside the off stump. Yesterday we would have seen 2 batters go out stump off wide deliveries outside the off stump. So Prit Patel bounds in out, and this time he's going aerial in the air beyond the boundary ropes for an inside out 6.
Yeah, not an easy shot to play, but I have to say Prit Patel hasn't learned from that first wide. That one was short and wide as well, but that was too wide for the batsman's reach, and then he goes and bowls the same delivery, this time not wide enough to be a wide, and he takes full advantage there. Leslie, who's looking in golden touch.
So his mojo is back again. He's back into the boundary hitting mode, and it's time for him to get the wheels turning. He's gone on to 40 now.
If he keeps bowling short and wide like that to Leslie, I think it will be a story tale for Mr. Patel here.
Well, he's changing his mode of operation. He's coming now over the wicket. So let's see. He's hitting this one on ground there, which is a good thing. Only 1 wicket down. They've got to try to really put a total on here, because Samp Army has not lost a match in this competition. They would have already chased 3 times and won, so they're making it a habit. They would have chased 75, 87, and 94.
Yeah, so definitely they do have the chasing ability. So you, like we were mentioning yesterday, they're no pushovers. They chased 94 in that last game as well. So I think whatever target they're set, they'll back themselves. But the key here, bowling to Leslie especially, seems to be to not give him any room. If you keep it in the wickets, it seems that you can reduce him just to singles.
This brings Gerald Penford on strike. Let's see if he is follow fashion. And he's playing this one, that one keeping a little low. And they're thinking two. Will they take on the arm of the bowler? No. So just one. So Gerald has gone 3 from 3. So he has not really connected as yet. It's early days yet for him. But Leslie Daniel, in the meantime, is on 41, 9 away from 50.
Yeah, Leslie playing a real blinder here, 41 of just 18 balls. And I think at this time, Gerald, even though he can hit, all he has to do is give the strike to Leslie because he seems to be in pristine touch.
Outside the off stump, and he's swinging and missing at this one outside the off stump to be taken by the wicket keeper. A dot goes into the book. A red dot being bowled to Leslie Daniel.
Yeah, so as you can see there, that one also had that bounce that Leslie was trying to ride on, like that 6 he hit over the point region, but that one did not have that room. That's why he ended up missing that ball, so just has to keep it wicket to wicket to him.
Yes, that one was closer to the body. Didn't give him... This time it's in the air, but...
Yeah, so Leslie, change of plans. He was trying to go over the offside, got a couple deliveries where there was no room, and this time just hoists it over the long on fielder for another big hit, and not afraid to take on the fielder at this time. He is seeing that ball like a football.
Yes, I'm telling you, that was more like a baseball hit. If the bases were loaded, we'll say that's a home run.
Yeah, that was a farmer's hoik.
Well, he's on 47 from 20. Doing good for his team. Outside the off stump, a swing and a miss, and he's allowed appeal and given by the umpire.
Yeah, and by Leslie's reaction, it did seem that he hit it. Not protesting, just walking off. I have to say hard done. He was nearing his 50, but I guess keeping the team's cause for his own personal milestone, and in the process losing his wicket.
Well, it was a good low catch here by the keeper, so victory for the bowler there, Patel. He was swatted out of the park for 2 sixes in that over, and he came back nicely, kept it outside the off stump, and the wicketkeeper did a good job in taking the catch. Now, you might wonder why did Leslie Daniel turn back. Well, he was not sure whether the wicketkeeper would have taken the catch or not, so he did the right thing in case there was a chance of a run out to make sure get back in his grounds. But this reminds me of doing a US Open 2020 at the Central Board Regional Park. At least 8 batsmen get into the 40s and got out while I was commentating. And you know what I had to do? For the next batsman, the 10th batsman who got into the 40s to make a 50, I had to stand up and commentate. I said,
Okay, well, you should have done that for Leslie.
I should have done that because yesterday, same thing happened. Getting to the 50.
But I mean, now we see again a similar situation. They did well for the first half, like 6 overs. But now again, 2 new batsmen at the crease. And that seems to be the reason why the runs are not coming as much in the end, because the said batsmen are not there in the end. So it's up to Gerald and Damien to continue on Leslie's good work and get this total over 100.
Yes, well, 2 relatively new batsmen at the crease. BW thought it was hard done. He thought so himself, but once the umpire put the dreaded finger up, you've got to go. The doctor say you're dead. He pronounced you dead. It goes down as death. Again, folks, we're asking you to lysolize, sanitize, and follow all the CDC instructions and be safe. It's always better to be 6 feet above ground than to be 6 feet under.
I never get why batsmen do that though. I'll come back to it after this ball.
Okay, so we have a new bowler, Jadi.
Yeah, he just went through his action, but the ball didn't want to leave his hand.
So he's 2 for 2. Let's see if he's pushing the batsman or not. So he's. Did he bowl already? This time again, the batsman Gerald. He's not his usual self. Yesterday he was looking more compact.
Yeah, it could be because they played back-to-back games, and we saw him when I think he'd already played one game, and today's the first game, so maybe needs to get back in touch and find some form.
Well, today might be the first and only game because the loser here would be out. So this is the first of two semi-finals, and we're asking you to stick and stay to MAQ TV because we're going to have a second semi-finals, and we're going to be having the finals after that. So 68 for 2. Well, Damien comes and strike now for his first delivery up. He's batting at the number 4 position. This time he's covering up, and a loud appeal, and not out, says umpire Vincent Brown. I was wondering if Damon would have been playing cricket the old-fashioned way. You know, a lot of time batsmen come in and they say, well, I have to play down the first ball in order not to be out, given for a golden duck. This time he's showing aggression, hitting it on the onside of the bowler. He gets off the mark. So 1, that's all there'll be. 69 for 2. So goes on. He goes off the mark, as a matter of fact. So he's 1 from 2, and that brings Penford into strike. They've got to get the wheels turning. There's a platform set already. We're into over number 7. Outside the off stump, he's going high, he's going hard, and there's a man down there who takes the catch. And so Gerald Penford goes out for 4. And like I was saying, he did not look his usual self.
Yeah, just didn't look comfortable at all out there, and must say a very good catch at the boundary by the fielder.
Yes, it was a good running catch. It made it look easy in the end, but those catches are not easy. Welcome Qureshi into the comebacks at this time. Good morning, Sunday to you, sir.
Good morning, Ivor. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Happy to be here, and this is the third day of a 10-10 competition, which you would have orchestrated. It's good to see that we can have cricket in South Florida amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, great opportunity. Look at the score. You know, T10 is Rockets is going like a baseball here. 69 runs for 3 outs and 6.50. So that is the one we want to see. It 100 runs and 10 overs is a good total for that teams. Beautiful weather out there, and the wicket playing very well. We have umpired earlier. I did the test, and they liked it. All the teams, they love that the wickets has been prepared. So there was a good weather also participating in South Florida.
Yes, there's no wind in the forecast, but Mac, as we come to the end of over number 7, it's a 10-10. We're just going to have another 3 overs. At this ground at the MAQ Cricket Stadium, we can see a vast improvement in the landscaping and all that stuff. In the view here, as you can see, a brown patch over there. That is going to be designated for?
Yeah, we had it basically all the hills, like in Australia and New Zealand, they had it all the hill. People can come sit, and the 2 entrance we made it from the other end, and they have putting the scoreboards and the electronic sign on the corner where the tree is coming up, and there's a big scoreboards coming up on there soon. And then we have 2 entrance we made it on the side, so they're parking on the sides on there. So it's a improvement. They have 12 rooms. They build it for the whole team can come and stay here also, and 5 showers for them. So is traveling teams can be stay in the ground, and they have the batting cages, and then I have indoor batting cages we coming up also. So we have commentary rooms with coming up, and all. So a lot of improvement because we will have US Open some game, and also World Cup for Legend will playing also here.
So in terms of accommodation for eating, you know, between breaks and stuff, for restaurant or anything is in the works for that?
Yeah, we got the cafeteria. We got full kitchen cafeteria, also an outdoor sitting area for the cafeteria. So we have there also for all the players. So it's a lot of things. Name it. You have basketball court for the practice, and soccer pole for practicing. Also, players like to play different. Athlete want to play different games, and then come back in the cricket. So it's like we are full facility clubhouse has been drawn. So we'll have it improvement. As you've seen this thing up, entire grounds look like the Broward County Cricket Stadium. It's like the wicket is playing very well and bouncing the wickets. And this first time reopened back again, there was been wickets been off. They have 3 wickets actually, and we're using only 1, and we have second one is already prepared. So it's good for the South Florida cricket, and minor leagues gonna come in playing all the games here also.
So in the meantime, a wicket would have fallen while we were speaking here. We had Powell. He would have gone for Golden Duck out LBW. So 69 for 4. And Mac, we know these days that cricketers, they always want to get freshened up and all the good stuff. So what about shower facilities? Do you have any of that sort?
Yeah, right now we have 2 shower facility already built, and we're building 2 more, so 4 shower facility they had it. And then also we have horseback riding rings here on the back. So the player want to duck out, they can go horse riding.
All right. Well, very good. So that's vast improvement here. And if you could get one of the cameramen at some stage to span the field, you'll see what a luxurious facility it is here. So it's going to be one for the future. I can see it's a turf wicket already. Maybe one of these days, if we go into the MAQ T20, which is usually held in December, we might be able to push some lights over here, MAQ, where you can get a game up to about 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we do have lightings. We got lights, 8 light poles, and they will gonna be open through it. So we're gonna be have pretty soon. We can do it next week if they needed to. With the movable light poles we have on the facility right now, and we have not tried yet, but we're gonna be eventually when the games come up, we'll have that lights grounds.
So in the meantime, Damien Rowe gets into the act with a boundary, 6. So he goes on to 7 from 4. He's a slow starter. He started off with a dot, but now he has gone on to 7. So 2 scoring shots out of his 4 deliveries. And like we were saying here, Amar. Like we're saying, Amar, just now, like you were saying, they were always getting a good start and seem to be falling away.
Yeah, so that seems to be the case for most batsmen. That's been the case in particular for Damien, getting starts in both the games yesterday and then getting out. But he needs to stay there till the end because he looks in good touch now if they're to reach 100.
Yes. So 77 for 4. So folks, you would have heard it here. We're in sunny South Florida, but the accommodation would be there in case we have to have an evening game, a day-night game. That could be had as soon as yesterday or today. And there goes another boundary as Damien Rowe is getting the willow onto the leather. That was a beautiful looking shot, Mark.
Yes, a beautiful shots, and now over the boundary, 4 runs. Is Damien Rowe is our local player, is a great player, has been our league, and South Florida, so our star. This format is work for everybody. If the team lost, the good players can move up to another teams. So if a semi-final, somebody lost that teams, they have opportunity next semi-final, they can pick by another teams, so they can be continue play. The reason we're doing that thing up, we have opportunity, give them more run the player can make, more performance they can show. We have more cash prizes for them. Every run he made, they will make dollars. So let's example they had it 50 runs from one team, 1 games, 50 another. So we will 800 runs. So we're gonna have 800 counts. All run will be count end of the tournament, and we'll have that much money. We're gonna get cash. Not even check. We'll give him cash and dollars. Every bowler take wicket, we're gonna have cash for all entire. If he took 50 wicket, he's got 500. 500. We're gonna have cash for. They count all the wickets. Damien hit the another 4 runs. As got to stop. we first of all we thank you for the Alvi Sports. Alvi Sports, they sponsor all the balls. As you've seen, they've been playing on the fields. T10, they made a special T10 ball for this event, and Alvi Sports give us the balls to play and a T10 opportunity. They give an extra ball, so if you lost and all, and they sponsor for next year also all the cricket balls. So thanks for Alvi Sports and be part of them participating. And also we had a biggest sponsor on this tournament, which is Safe Zone. Safe Zone, we all have all the players will holding the watches and log in safezone.io. Safezone.io.
This one is in the air. Fila is getting in, but he's gonna fall in no man's land. So Prahlad is trying to really emulate Rowe in trying to get the ball beyond the boundary, but he had the height but never the distance. In the meantime, they scampered through for a single. So that was MAQ CEO who was brings up to this one is in the air. It's going to the left of the man down there in the wide long position. Good feeling there. Good feeling as applauded there and recognized by the wicketkeeper. He kept the batters down to 1. So Damien Rowe is on to lucky 13. He comes into strike. Prahlad goes on to 4. 87 for 4. We're into over number 9. So again, a beautiful facility here, as you would have heard. This time he's getting on the back foot and he's playing it 1-2 bounces down to the deep mid-wicket area.
Yeah, going along nicely here. Tampa Tigers still in pursuit of that 100-run mark. If they can maybe get another boundary of this last ball or even 2 runs, and then they'll have to get 10 of the last over, which is very much possible.
Well, if they can get So partnership have realized some 19 runs. They're 12 away from 100. And like we said, Samp Army has been chasing well. They've chased 3 times and won it all. They've set a target of 127 when they would have scored 126 for 5 from the 10. They have not lost a match in this competition. They'll be hard done and hard pressed if they were to lose one now in the semi-finals. But you would have heard the competition rules. Players could be drafted in even though they would have played here. So the loser of this match, you might very well see 1 or 2 of the players featuring in either the second semi-finals or the finals.
Yeah, so that's what keeps the competition so high. Even if a team fails to make it to the next round, still their best players can feature in other teams. Still keeping the competition amongst the teams playing to a very high standard and level.
So over number 9 comes up. That'll be bowled by Akash. This time he's sweeping. He's getting 1. Winning the first one very quickly. They're thinking 2. And they're taking on the arm of the ball. And he is run out by a long way. Keep on running. Keep on running.
Yeah,
Prahlad needs no assistance from the umpire.
Didn't even have a chance to ground his bat. Just kind of ran through. And still trying to get to that 100 mark. Just a 1 run off that first ball, right? Second ball was run out. Second one was
Just 1-1, yeah, second one out. So I think Prahlad must have made a sacrifice there. He have sucked up some 6 deliveries for only 4 runs. So he wanted to get Damien Rowe back on strike because there was 2 was never on the cards.
Yeah, they have the wickets. They can afford to do that. If Damien is hitting the long ball, then they should get him on strike, even if it means there might be a run out on the other end.
Yes,
fair enough.
I think that's what happened there because he wasn't even in the frame when he got run out. But the idea was to get Damien Rowe back on strike. Now it is for him now to make good use of that run out.
Yeah, now he has to justify getting the other batsman out. Akash has ball well, just going for the 7 runs in his first over. So let's see how he fares against Damien here, who seems to be hitting some good hits.
Yes, indeed. So spin is finishing up, and this time he's going big, and he has really gone big over long on. So just what the doctor ordered. I'm gonna have a sacrifice run out, and I've now got to make up for that.
Yeah, Damien, definitely they're justifying why he chose to take that second run to be on strike, and I don't think even the batsman who got out will mind that, because he's hit a 6 off his very next ball.
Yes, indeed. So I guess it's all a strategy. Well, it's Sunday here in South Florida. We want to say happy Sunday to all, and all of your church goers. If you're getting home from church, we ask you to tune into the maqtv.com, where you're looking at live cricket. First of 2 semi-finals, we have Tampa Bay Tiger coming up against the Samp Army. Samp Army have gone undefeated in this competition so far. They've played 4 matches. They've won all 4. The Tigers would have won just 1 and would have lost 3. But they're in the semi-finals, and they're trying to get past the semi-finals to get into the finals. They would have won the toss earlier, and they're on to 95. As a matter of fact, the highest score in the tournament was 98. So, although they would have lost for that team again and getting an inside edge, but they're winning 1, thinking 2, but they aborted the attempt of a second. So just 2 more deliveries left in this. So I guess he's counting down the strikes. He's saying, all right, let's give Faizan Masood a go with 2 deliveries. With wickets in the bank, like you were saying, it's time for him to have a good heave at this next 2 deliveries.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to cross 100, and if maybe they can get 2 boundaries of the last 2 balls, they can go beyond that.
Well, he's hitting all right, and he's going far. I think one of the biggest for the day. So just what the doctor ordered, the 100 comes up, and this is the highest score in the tournament. So what a good time. No, their highest score. Yeah, Tampa, their highest score would have been 98, and now they've gone into the 100 mark. And what a good time to do it in the semi-finals.
Yeah, in a semi-final, and what a time to hit a big hit as well. That's 6, putting them over 100, and if you can get 1 more here, that will get them close to 110.
And there's 1, there's 2 here, no matter how you look at it. So good feeling. That takes Damien Rowe off strike. So that was good strategy by the bowler as well. Even though he would have struck for a big 6, I would have to say that Damien Rowe is the one who's been there for quite some time. He's on 22 from 12, so it's a good.
Yeah, batting
10
effort.
of us is done. Yes.
That's a good batting effort from Tampa Tigers. Leslie Daniel on the top with 47 from 21, and was supported by his opening partner Praveen. And then in the end, some big hits from Damien Rowe, and 7 runs of just 2 balls for Faizan to get his team 203 for 5, which will be quite a defendable, which will be quite a competitive total to defend. And the bowling, the pick of the bowlers was Chandrapal Hemraj. He did bowl his 2 overs today, the 1 wicket, just for 17 runs. Apart from that, everyone else who got the wicket was on the expensive side, besides Kartikya Jagadish. Actually, he's going to be the pick of the bowlers, 2 overs for 7 runs and just a 1 wicket, economy rate of 3.5, which is good in any sort of cricket, let alone T10. So, innings break. When we come back, Samp Army will need 104 runs to win to make it to this final, and we'll catch you on the flip side once we are back after this innings break. Take care.
So the players are back out in the middle. Welcome back to the MAQ TV, and the one chase will be taking place shortly. 104 is required from the 10 allotted overs. So Tampa Bay would have batted first. Well, Tampa Tigers. I keep saying Tampa Bay. Tampa Tigers, and they would have scored 103 for the loss of some 5 wickets. So now Samp Army, who have not lost a match in this competition, is set to chase 104. So Amar, your prediction?
Let's see. I mean, Chandrapal will remain the key. Let's see how he goes. If he gets set, then he can take this game home pretty quickly for Samp Army. So I wouldn't say it's a one-sided affair because it's 104, but we saw 95 being chased by Samp Army yesterday, and that's only 10 runs more. So let's see.
Well, nothing has changed in terms of his bowling his 1 over. That's him with Chandrapal. His 1 over.
I think he balled 2 today.
Oh, he came back and bowled his 7 over.
Yeah, I think he balled 2 today. I was looking at the scorecard in the end, and it said he balled 2 overs for 18 runs or 17 runs.
That must have been happening when we were talking.
Yeah, when MAQ was. Yeah.
So he bowled 2 overs.
So maybe he'll bat twice as long too.
Well, we'll see. Well, so Demunigo is the wicketkeeper, been drafted into this semi-finals, and he would have batted to the end. He scored some 22 runs. I think he had a mere 12 deliveries. He started slowly, but in the end he came through with 22. Now he's done in the gloves. You know, wicket keepers, they have different gears, so he had to change his batting pads into wicket keeping pads and change his mittens into the big wicket keeping gloves, so he was the last man on the field. Down the leg side. It's a wide, called and signaled by umpire Vincent Brown. Umpire Vincent Brown and Mark Ebanks, they both umpire in the local competition here in one of the leagues, the Southeast Premier League. There are 2 of the umpires in that league. They have been summoned to this competition. So Hemwaj is on strike. This time he's covering up nicely. Samal Patel, he's opening the bowling. He didn't do much today with the bat, and we're saying he may have woke up on the wrong side of the bed today when he batted, because he did not seem to look the part.
Yeah, but I mean his team still made the runs, so they'd rather that he performs with the ball today because that's what they need at the moment.
Oh well, Hemwaj is going big. Flicks this one off the pads and over to the deep mid-wicket square leg, and the first boundary for him.
Yeah, so it seems like the only sider Hemraj needed was that wide and 1 other ball. So he's taking the 1 ball, and then his second one for 6.
Yeah, so he has opened up his and he starts with a 6. And I hope I'm not the commentator's curse here on Samal Patel. This time he's in the air, but he's gonna get away with it. Goes, let's see, the umpires 6. He goes for 6, and like we were saying with those bats, it was a top edge.
Yeah, it seems like he's set on making full use of the power play. They are chasing around, well, they are chasing a little bit more than 10 runs and over the starting required run rate, so I guess he's decided to make full use of this power play and get as many runs as possible. It does seem that he is just going to play one way even after the power play, and that's just trying to hit away.
Well, they've gone undefeated in this competition so far. Outside the off stump, and he almost dragged this one back onto his stump. He was wide of off stump, and he was trying to play it into the offside. He got himself a bottom edge.
Shadow practicing the shot that he should have played now, instead of trying to repeat or aim for that same mid-wicket area. That one was too wide to drag it from all the way outside off stump. but he's definitely trying to go for the big hits.
And again, he's trying and he's not connecting this time. So that goes into the scorer's book. So good comeback there by Patel. Was struck for back-to-back sixes and he came back with back-to-back dots.
Yeah, the way Hemorrhage is going though, it is a bit of a cat and mouse out there, because if he misses, the ball or hits, but if he hits, that's 6. Just like that.
Just like that, to the left of the bowler, and away she goes for 4.
So pressure on from the Samp Army, courtesy Hemorrhage in the first over, getting 17 runs and just bring that run rate down, required run rate down under 10.
So Hemorrhage is on the score boundaries, 6-4. His intention was not to get a single and get down at the other end. He's going to punch, like you say, it's 3 overs of maximum power play, and he's going to try to make full use of it once he's on strike.
Well, he has done that in the first over. The strike will be changed over to Sardam Patel. Now, he had some lusty blows as well yesterday, so we'll have to wait and see if he's going to continue that approach, or seeing that Hemorrhage has hit 17 runs of the first over, maybe he'll just try to tab it over to him. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, I'm taking this time out to say happy wedding anniversary to my brother, Mr. David and Janet Maitland. All of 32 years of marital bliss. Gonna wish you guys many, 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 many more. Mr. David Maitland. So Rajesh ready, he's going to be the one taking up the attack from the northern end here, the come box end. Partnership has realized some 17 runs just from the 1 over. And like you always say, they always start well and then they seem to settle down and then start losing wickets.
Yeah, but if they get the way they're going right now, if they keep on going like that in the power play, then I think after that it's going to be easy because they're chasing, so they'll have a required run rate in mind.
And there she goes. So here it is where Samal Patel gets into the act. And first delivery up, he swings it down to the deep backward square leg for 4.
Yeah, so I guess we have our answer. Not interested at all to rotate the strike over to Hemorrhage, who is throwing that first bowler. Surnam looks like he's about to have a bit of his own fun in the second over. I think the first ball that he's faced in the first ball of the second over, 4-4 through square leg.
And it was not a bad delivery. It wasn't like it was a long hop or anything like that. But the batters are in such aggressive mood. And maybe they're conserving energy for the finals. Saying we're not going to be running between these sticks when we can just knock this off in boundaries. There he goes again. There's another big one. And he goes way beyond the boundary board for a maximum 6.
Yeah, it's too early to call it at this stage, but it does seem like Samp Army in no mood to take this down the wire. They're demolishing this score early. Desperately in need of a wicket now, Tampa Tigers. I was actually outside, and what I was hearing is in the final, they might do 20 overs. But it's going to be like one team's going to, like a test match. One team's going to bat 10 overs, the other team's going to bat 10 overs, then again 10 and 10. That's what I was hearing. There's no confirmation, so I'm pretty sure we'll get that once they do decide on that.
Okay.
And the driving force behind that decision is just so that players can make more money, score more runs, make more money.
Lights, timber. So you miss, I hit. So first wicket down. So Patel was going for another boundary and he missed, and his leg stump was plucked out of the ground. So there goes the first wicket, 27 for 1. Sam Patel goes for 10 from 2 hits, 6 and a 4.
Yeah, so redemption for Raj Shaker ready, being hit for a 4 and 6. First 2 balls, comes back strongly, uproots the stumps, and unfortunately Patel has to walk back to the dugout.
Well, I'm sure he must have said I would have done my job. I faced 3 deliveries. I scored 10 runs. I've given you a platform. So you go and partner with Chandrapal. At least he didn't have to run between the sticks. So he would be full of energy if they make it into the finals.
Yeah, and if everyone plays the way these two have played, they will end up winning this. So we'll have to wait and see. We have seen that 1 wicket brings many more.
So it's quite a long time between a player going out and coming in. We've got to do something about that. But like you were saying, it's a long, good, nice, hot Florida day. So a 20 over at the end, that one is really wide of the mark. Called and signaled wide there by umpire E. Banks. So after a wicket, you should be really trying to attack those wickets. This time he's hitting this one in the air. There's a man down there trying to get onto it, but it's over his head. The tallest man on the field, as a matter of fact. So it was always going to be 6 once it gets over his head.
Yeah, clear plan here from the Samp Army. They don't seem to be interested at all in playing this deep and trying to keep up with the run rate. Every batter that's coming in is trying to hit Abdullah Shah there with his first ball. It's a 6.
Yep, they have not won a single one. The only single came from a wide. He's going again. He's going big for yet another 6. So he's like batting practice.
Yeah, I think they're just not trying to take it too deep. And then even at that point, they need to run a ball. There's always pressure of that knockout game. So I think they're trying to finish this early. So there's no hiccups towards the end. 40 runs and still 1 ball left in the second over. They are going at over. They're going at 21.8 runs and over at this moment.
But I'm telling you, a target of 104 seems really small. This 103 has been the highest score made by Tampa Tigers, and these guys are making light work of it. And he's going again, just falling just before for a 4. So 1 bounce 4, and they're serving up boundaries here. Like I said, they have not run between the sticks for singlers yet. It's all boundaries and a wide.
Yeah, making full use of that power play, the Samp Army. In that specific over, first it was the batsman that got out, and then now Abdullah Shah coming in and continuing that good work. We were praising the first over, but the second over is even better. They did lose the wicket, but took ready for 27 runs, and I feel that trend is going to continue for this third power play as well. They're trying to milk maximum runs from this power play.
Yes, indeed. Well, big concept. Who should be bowling well? I think bowler. He's going to continue. He has the ball in hand. It said these guys is licks or sticks. So maybe my second over I might hit some sticks and follow in the fashion ready.
Yeah, maybe the bowling side needs a change of approach. They have been trying to put it up there on the length, and they have been taken apart. So maybe they need to get more aggressive and see if maybe a few bouncers might rattle the batsman, because at this point they're hitting anything that's in their zone.
Yeah, so when we thought Hemwat was going helter-skelter at 16 from 6, here Shah getting 16 from 3. Oh, that's a wide outside the off stump. Called and signaled wide there by umpire Vincent Brown.
Feeling the pressure now, the bowling side clearly feeling the pressure.
Yes.
And what this does is this sort of start is now the bowlers are not even thinking about wickets. They're just trying to save those runs. So that adds a huge advantage to the batting side when they're not even bowling to get wicket.
Oh, this is a juicy full toss that goes beyond the boundary ropes for yet another maximum.
Yeah, trying the Yorker seemed like the only viable option the way these two batters have been playing, or the Samp Army batsmen in general, and ends up being a full toss that Chandrapal gleefully accepts and deposits into the stands.
Yeah, there was a Yorker that went all wrong. The 50 comes up on the board. It's 51 for 1. And Hemwat races on to 22 from 7. He's getting starts all the time. Yesterday he got into the 30s and out. He's going again. and just gonna get 2. So at least they run a double finally. So he mistimed that one. He was just out of the reach of the mid-on fielder. Was in the air.
Yeah, I think Hemraj, even after that hiccup where he could have gotten out, I think he's going to go again. He's decided for these last 4 balls, he is swinging at everything and anything, basically.
Yeah, they made good use of the power play. They still have 4 deliveries left in the power play, and they've gone out full toss outside the off stump. The umpire decided he's not going to call it a wide. And Hemraj, like you were saying yesterday, sometimes the batters go after these balls because they're not sure if the umpire is going to call wide or not. But it was clearly wide of the mark. But in the umpire's opinion, the batsman had a good chance of playing at it. This time it's another juicy full toss, which goes even further. That's a baseball swing.
Yeah, Hemraj not holding back. It seems like the two batsmen out in the middle are having a competition to see who can score more runs because they end up playing the hole over themselves. And yeah, going back on that, towards the end I felt yesterday when they needed like a run a ball, some people were playing the wide because they didn't want to leave it thinking it was a wide and the umpire doesn't give it. But I think right now, given that they're in a drawing position and there's many overs left, happy to leave the ones they think are wise and get the extra run.
Yes, I think this is by far and away the best score in the power play. They're 59 for 1 with still 2 legal delivery left.
Yeah, you never know. Could be 71 by the time this over is done. The way Hemraj is going.
Well, it could be 73. You can hit 2 6s.
A change of angle for the bowler. He's going to try around the wicket. I mean, since he's being hit on the fuller deliveries, I have not seen him go short yet. He is a tall lad, so maybe he can put in that bouncer and see what happens. I mean, he's getting hit for 6s anyway, so nothing worse than that can happen.
Yeah, his Yorkers are going wrong. He's trying for the Yorker and they're turning into full tosses. Outside the off stump and the batsman and the umpire is signaling wide. Is he?
Yeah, he has signaled the wide.
But he turned into the side.
I think that's why Hemraj is so composed. Otherwise, he would be very upset with himself that he missed out on that short wide one.
He signaled wide until the score down there.
Yeah, the umpire there calling this one a wide, so we'll have to re-bowl that. And there he goes again. This time it recovers, but doesn't have a distance. Fielder coming under it and drops it. This might be a costly blow for the Tampa Tigers. Chandrapal Hemraj has been taking the bowlers apart, and at this time the bowlers do look for support from the fielding, and the catch dropped. Had all the time in the world to settle under it and take it, but dropped, and as a result Hemraj still out there. And to rub salt in the wounds, very next ball is another 6. Running away with the game here, Samp Army. Looks like they don't want any drama. They're trying to finish this early. 68 for 1 after 3 overs, and the power play is done. So the power play has ended, and it will be interesting to see if that brings the bowlers some respite given the additional fielders allowed outside the ring, or if the Samp Army batsmen Abdullah Shah and Chandrapal Hemraj are going to continue in their boundary hitting fashion. We'll have to see on that if there's a change of approach with the power play being over, or if they're just going to take the fielders on and back themselves to clear the rope as they have done in their power play.
Well, it's a healthy power play. 68 realized from some 3 overs. Remember, they're chasing 104 for victory. This is the first of 2 semifinals.
Yeah, they're going around close to 23 runs and over right now. So if they keep on going that way, this game is going to be done in the next 2 to 3 overs.
You're quite correct. But we have a change of bowling. We're going to have Palad. He's going to be coming on to pick up the attack with all 5 fielders beyond the 30-yard boundary. Oh, he's going big again, and he goes even further.
So I guess you have the answer to my question, first ball of the over, to see if there was going to be any change of approach with the additional fielders outside the ring, but he takes on the fielder, clears it by some margin. The captain, bringing himself onto ball, has been shown no extra respect and being treated the same way. The 2 batsmen out there going ballistic against the Tampa Tiger bowlers.
Abdullah Shah has raced on to 22 from just some 4 deliveries. What a strike rate. Hemwedge is keeping company. He is there on 38 for 12. And again, and this one is even bigger.
Clears it. For a minute I thought it went straight up in the air, but clears it by some margin in the end. Abdullah Shah in red hot form. 28 from just 5 balls.
And that's a 50-pounder ship that comes up quick and fast and in a hurry, just like that.
How many balls for the 50 partnership?
Outside the off stump, this one is in the end to the offside, and he's out. He's taken.
Yeah, but have to say Abdullah Shah has done his job. Brilliant 50 partnership there with Chandrapal Hemraj. 50 partnership of just 14 deliveries. And he departs for 28 of 6. And it seems that's been the trend for the Samp Army. So maybe the next batter in is going to continue the same fashion. Or maybe Prahlad can bring his team back into this one with the fall of that wicket.
Well, they're scoring at 22.9 runs and over. So if they continue in this fashion, the game will be over in the 5th over.
It'll be interesting to see if this is just the quality of the Samp Army batsmen, or if like the pitch is better now for batting. So maybe we'll see some high-scoring games today in general.
Well, Samp Army, like I told you yesterday, they're a champion team. They're a no-nonsense team. They've been around. They've been taking part in the MAQ T20. They're being played at the Central Borough Regional Park. And they've always give a good account of themselves when they're on show.
Yeah, definitely a good side, Samp Army. Sunny Kumar is in now, but it's Hemraj who's on strike because the cross when the catch was being taken. Sunny played well yesterday, so he's in good form as well. I think he got 27-28 in quick time. So I'm guessing he's not going to be afraid to chance his arm as well against these fielders and try to clear the ropes.
Well, the skipper is really setting the field, but I don't know if he can set a field for 6. Because he have served up 2 sixes, but at least he got a wicket in his delivery.
So far, most of the 6s they got hit for. I'll continue after this ball. So far, most of the 6s they got hit for, they had the fields for it. They just sailed over the fielder. So the fielders are there. It's not like they've been picking the gaps, but just sheer power and killing it by some margin.
Well, there's a moral victory for Sunny Kumar. He would have bowled a dot to Chandrapal Hemraj. This one is in the air and it's even going further for yet another US10 maximum. So Hemraj missed out on the first one, but he was not going to miss out on the second one. He rushes on to 44, one hit away from 50.
That was a short-lived moral victory for the bowler Prahlad there. They get two nice balls and then again hit for 6.
And he goes again inside out and he goes over the boundary for 6, and that's his 50.
What an innings this has been by Chandrapal Hemraj, showing his class. 50 of just 15 balls, and this has been the fastest 50 of this tournament.
Yes,
by far.
yes, by far. Yes, 15-15. Like I said yesterday, he was well on the way for 50. He got some 31 runs and pretty much gifted his wicket away, but he's saved the best for last.
Obviously, the game's not done yet, but it's going to be really hard for Tampa Tigers to come back from this. They need 12 runs of 6 overs.
Well, they just need, at the strike rate, they just need 3 deliveries to overhaul the 104.
Yeah, the way they're going, they might not they can do 12 runs in 2 balls.
We have a new batter on strike now, so we'll watch and wait.
But like I said, he hit some big blows yesterday as well. Got 27-20, I think, against Orlando Stars in quick time. So it's going to be no surprise if he is not interested in rotating the strike and wants to go for the biggest as well. And maybe get 12 to his name.
Yeah, well, the wages are going up around the grounds, and the wages are, the bet is that if Shanja Paul Hemwaj would get a not out, that's the first bet. The second bet, would he be the one hitting the winning run? So we will watch and see, and we'll wait for you guys out there.
Because if Sunny takes a single here, I can assure you, Chandrapal is either hitting sixes or he's getting out. He's not interested in running at all.
He has not run a single one.
He ran, I think, 1-2. That 2 was trying to hit for a 6.
Exactly. Well, here's a double. So Kumar gets off the mark right away with 2 from his first delivery.
Comparatively, a more cautious start by Sunny as compared to his teammates who were hitting sixes on the first ball. He plays this one nicely though, behind point. Good looking shot.
Yes, well, the loser goes home and the winner stays. So I'm sure Mr. Audley Watson over there would want to hear the winner stays and the loser goes home. And this time he's going down the ground just out of the outstretched left hand of the bowler. And a rare,
yeah, so even Sunny took just one
rare
ball
single.
before he tried hitting a 6. Didn't quite catch it in the middle, but now just 9 runs away.
Yes. Yes, the winner goes to the finals, yes, and the loser goes home. But some of the players could be drafted into the
Yes, if the teams that qualify like what they see from some of the players, they might draft them in their team for that final or semi-final game.
yeah, but I don't think Sampami need any help. They've gone undefeated, and I think they're going to go undefeated into the finals.
Maybe some team will try to recruit some of Samp Army's players because they're only pulling in 3-4 batters anyways.
Oh, here is a reverse, and
So
is he gonna call a wide? Did he call? No, he didn't call a wide.
Emrah's trying some pretty things now.
Yeah, he's trying to be too cute. He's trying
I guess
the reverse sweep, trying to show that hey, I have more than just big hits.
yeah, trying to show some finesse.
Oh, this time he's going big. He's going down the ground and he's gone for 6.
And that only lasted 1 ball. He's back to his 6 hitting. I mean, if you can hit him like that, why would you try to reverse sweep it?
He's just trying to say I have that in my arsenal as well. But like you say, when it doesn't come off, it looks ugly. But when it comes off, you're a genius. Well, just 3 runs away, 1 hit away.
And again, this time trying to cut it, but straight to the fielder at point.
So the bets are still on. Would Chandra Paul Hemwaj hit the winning run, and would he get a not out? Those are the 2 bets that are going around the grounds. Oh, now there's another. Would the winning score come from a boundary? This time he pulls out this sweep. He gets it on this time, and yes, indeed, it comes from a boundary. Game, set, match.
He does get the winning runs. It also comes off a boundary. 105 for 2. Hats off to Chandrapal Hemraj. 60 of just 19 balls, well supported by Abdullah and Praveen.
Yes, and they did it in half the time, in just 5 overs.
Yeah, and that will really put the team that are going to play in the final under some pressure. Because now they'll have to try to really put runs on the board. So, as we look at the scorecard, 60 of 19, Chandrapal, the standout batsman, well supported by Surnam, Abdullah, and Sunny Kumar.